What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 726 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you from Underground Studios, and joining me via a 10.5-hour road trip from Bloomington, Indiana to the good old South Jersey area, the one, the only HK Harrison Krementz.
Yes, sir. Those of you who are just listening on Spotify, you won't be able to see this, but I can actually see the bags under my eyes right now.
Hey, at least designer.
Yeah.
This is Gucci,
bags.
that's Louis.
Exactly. And I think maybe underneath Gucci and Louis might be I can't even think of anything.
A little Fendi and Prada.
Fendi, yeah. I can't think of any more designers. My brain is not braining right now.
This is what DJ and I like to call when we record OTB this late at night because of our insane and asinine work schedules. This is Underground After Dark, baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is, you got me running on 20 hours no sleep and 10.5 hours in the car.
What's the old saying John Rothstein always says? Oh, yeah, we sleep in May, Harrison, because it is March Madness. As you guys are listening to this, we are going to dive all into the madness, but we got a lot more to talk about as well. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, every social platform. We're across the board. Subscribe to the pod on Apple and Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It genuinely does go a long way for helping the show continue to grow. And Harrison, I mentioned it on Monday's episode, but casually, you are listed as the co-host of the number 9 ranked Philadelphia podcast on the market.
Bang. I'm pulling Mike Breen. Bang.
Bang. Bang. No big deal. No big deal that you're a part of. You've been or are currently a part of 2 of the top 12 Philadelphia podcasts, according to FeedSpot.
I love it.
Because number 12 was Outside the Box. Number 9, Underground Sports Philadelphia. I also loved that we were the only independent podcast in the top 9. No big deal. No big deal.
As what could have been Andrew Garfield's catchphrase in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. No biggie.
No biggie.
No biggie. No big deal.
We're just listed with like President Steve and WIP, who's the number 1 radio station for sports in the market. Take that for what you will. No big deal. Just the go-to place. But I did find it funny that you've been back on the show since October, but they have you listed as the co-host alongside me.
Bang.
It's like real recognize real.
Yes, sir.
So welcome to the number 9 ranked Philadelphia podcast, everybody. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, including our Underground Madness live streams that'll definitely be going down this week and weekend that you will not want to miss. They are always a ton of fun, a tentpole live streaming event for our company. It's going to be so much fun. Myself, Steve, DJ, we might be doing Madness After Dark for that old Michigan game and watching DJ react in real time to his Wolverines going to war against everyone's darling UC San Diego. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe to the YouTube, which, doing my business person things, YouTube is the number 1 platform for podcasts now. It has surpassed Apple and Spotify. YouTube is the go-to place for podcasts. So if you're not watching us on YouTube, you're missing out. You're missing out. But subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a like on the video and drop a comment in the comment section. And of course, guys, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland municipal calendar features city organized, city sponsored, and city affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the city of Vineland on their social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Harrison, let the people know, how was the drive? How was the normal 12-hour drive cut down to 10.5-hour drive from Bloomington, Indiana to South Jersey for you, buddy?
You know, I've had worse. This was like my 6th or 7th time doing it just by myself in one sitting. Nothing really of note happened, except for one. I was driving through Ohio at some point, and some dumbass driving a truck with a trailer rig hooked up behind him.
Some clown named Mike Lombardi.
Absolute clown named Mike Lombardi. No, he's like, my car's like an inch behind his trailer, and I'm on the left side, so I'm going to pass it. I'm going to pass him. I'm doing what I need to be doing. I turned on my signal, like my blinker, like a second before I went. I made sure that people in my vicinity saw that my blinker was on, and I shifted over to the left, and I went to overtake him, right? This dumb fuck turns on his blinker for a millisecond, a fraction of a millisecond, literally just enough time for me to slam on my brakes. And my cat did not appreciate it. She was sitting in my passenger side. That woke her up. But he moved over, and I literally saw his trailer bed whiff by the hood of my car. Whiff out of the window while I'm driving. Yeah, little. My brain is so broken that I'm just pulling out. I think you should leave quotes, but
we're trying to figure out who did this.
We're trying to figure out who did this. It was the guy in the truck. It was the guy in the truck. I didn't do anything. I am a good driver. I will toot my own horn. I am a good driver. And oh goddamn! So he comes over. I lay into my horn. And, I don't flip people off while driving because you never know who has a gun. You never know who has a gun. But to make my point clear, I'm like behind him, and I'm doing I'm doing some New Jersey hand gestures. I'm sitting there like,
"Oh, fuck the matter with you?
You saw me. And then he eventually does get back over the right, and I go past him. I'm like, I'm trying. I just need to get away with
this shit. I'm out.
But as I'm pulling past him, I look over and I'm like, dude, I give him one of these. I give him a nice little, come on now.
Well, Tommy Cutlass action.
Have a go. But yeah, that was the most eventful part of the thing. I caught up on some of our pods. I listened to some music. If you haven't heard the Vines, shout out to Vineland, New Jersey, but they're from Australia. The Vines, hell of a good band. That, a little bit of Creed, because I love my divorced dad rock. And yeah, I was just a speed demon. I was keeping it within the relative speed limit. Like, I wasn't going 30 over, but I was zipping around 80, 85 the entire way. It was a good time.
What's off the record? What's the fastest you've gone in a car, allegedly?
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
I may or may not have been listening to Freebird.
Fair, valid.
I may or may not have taken my eyes off of the speedometer. I look down, I'm going 95.
Got you beat. Allegedly.
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 Allegedly in my 1999 Nissan Maxima that I missed that car. So when I make it big, Harrison, when this podcast is my full-time job and I'm making millions and millions of dollars, I will be purchasing a 1999 midnight green Nissan Maxima. That was my first car. I missed that car so fucking much. But I allegedly, on the good old nifty South Jersey highway that we all know and love, heading to work at my former retail job that I miss every day when I worked at PacSun. I worked one day at the Deptford store and I was running a little late and there was nobody on the road, allegedly. And I allegedly hit 110.
Allegedly. Yeah.
But yeah, allegedly.
I have been in a car going over 110, but not 110, over 100, but I was not the one driving. I will
allegedly.
Again, I was.
You were allegedly in a car doing that.
Yes, but I was not egging this person on. I will not name names. This is total anonymity. But allegedly, I have been in a car going over 100 miles an hour.
It's a wild experience. I hit it. I was like, allegedly hit it. And I was like, oh, all right, we got to simmer down a little bit.
You see the difference between doing it on a South Jersey highway in the middle of an Indiana cornfield?
Yes.
Dude, it was crazy. Straight away. Allegedly. Straight away.
There's allegedly levels to this shit.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, you haven't lived until you've just gunned it on an Indiana freeway.
Allegedly.
Just in the middle of a cornfield. Allegedly.
We got a fun show. We got to kick things off, obviously, with the big news. But before we get to the big news, it is brought to you by our friends at 47 Brand. We love 47 Brand here at Underground. It is my go-to hat of choice. I've been wearing 47 Brand genuinely for decades. At the aforementioned PacSun was when I was introduced to 47 Brand. We used to sell 47 Brand hats there. That was the first time I ever had 47 Brand products, and I genuinely love them. Their unique styles are genuinely like second to none. It's the most comfortable hat in the game. They just released some amazing capsules for all types of sports out there. It's my go-to. I'm always wearing 47 when I'm at Citizens Bank Park, when I'm hanging out with friends, watching sports. I genuinely love 47 Brand. Use our link in the description and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family today. And just check out everything they got from MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA, minor league baseball. And I say it all the time when I do the ad reads, and I genuinely mean this. I'm not even a NASCAR like fan, but their NASCAR hats and NASCAR collection at 47 Brand is some of the sickest merch you will ever see. So definitely go check that out. Use our link in the description and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. Harrison, it is it's a sad day, but it's a known day that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'll ever get over it because he's been such a fixture in my life since I was a sophomore in high school to me being 31 years old.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham has hung up the cleats on the Rocky statue and called it a 15-year career. number one of the coolest retirement announcement posts in Philadelphia sports that we've seen in our lifetime of putting the cleats on the Rocky statue.
Yes. And again, the Rocky curse only applies to players and teams not in the Philadelphia area. If you play for a Philly team or if you're a Philly fan and you adorn the Rocky statue in your cleats, say you're retiring, or Eagles gear before a big game, it's the opposite effect, actually. It provides a blessing. And this was the best way Brandon Graham could have announced his retirement. He's going out a champion. He's pulling a Peyton Manning. And I think he goes down as one of the greatest Eagles of all time, if not top three.
And not that we want to do, the Mount Rushmore thing, because that is a 100% summertime discussion, and it will come up more often than not now with the retirement of like this era of Eagles players.
Yep.
But it does beg the question, and I know you and I like briefly touched on this a while ago. Everyone from our generation, we never really have we don't have cognizant memories of Reggie White in an Eagles uniform. That doesn't say or discredit anything Reggie White did in an Eagles uniform, because he's a legend. You don't get your number retired, some exceptions, for nothing.
Yeah.
But I was not alive for Reggie White in an Eagles uniform. He was in an Eagles uniform from 1985 to 1992. That was a year before I was born. And even if he was, I wouldn't have like cognizant memories of Reggie White playing for the Eagles. Reggie White was a Green Bay Packer when I was a child. From 93 to 98, he was a Green Bay Packer, won a Super Bowl with the Packers. And that's not me saying I don't know Reggie White as an Eagle, but like I have zero connection to Reggie White as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles in my lifetime.
Yep.
Is it wrong for me and for you, because obviously you're in that same boat as well, is it wrong for us to leave Reggie White off of our specific Mount Rushmores when we talk about all-time Eagles, because we never saw the guy play in an Eagles uniform?
So with Mount Rushmores, they're all objective. They are all different from person to person. You can ask 50 different Eagles fans who's on their Mount Rushmore of Eagles players, and you'll get possibly 50 different combinations. It is not wrong for those of us who did not grow up watching Reggie White to leave him off of our Eagles Mount Rushmore. And that is not to discredit the man. That is absolutely not to discredit the man. But he won his championships in Green Bay, as you said. We have so many players to choose from in the era that we've been alive, considering we've been lucky enough to see 2 Eagles Super Bowls when Eagles fans were born, lived, and died without even getting to see one. So our Mount Rushmore is going to be comprised of a lot more modern players compared to, say, Eagles fans who were born in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Right. Because, like Reggie White, like, I also don't believe, and I genuinely don't remember, I don't have a connection to Jerome Brown playing in an Eagles uniform. That does not go to discredit what he did in an Eagles uniform and how he was as a player, but he was before my lifetime. And I'm sure there's some of our listeners sitting at home listening to this or watching this being like, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking old. But that's kind of the case. Like, I don't have cognizant memories of either of those players, and those guys would be on a lot of Eagles fans' Mount Rushmores. Same with somebody like Chuck Bednarik, who is a more vintage style player, but like that's well before our time, obviously, and well before a lot of people's times. I
don't know much film of Chuck Bednarik. The only thing I really have seen of him is that cold photo of him with the cigar in his mouth and his cigarette in the other hand.
And like, I tweeted somebody's post that had the picture of this generation, the core four of BG, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, and Lane Johnson. And I said, there's probably a faction of Eagles fans who would say this is their Mount Rushmore of Philadelphia Eagles, and I would have no complaint about that argument.
In that four combined, you have 6 Super Bowls. 2 for Lane and BG each, 1 for Fletch and Jason each, and they had an opportunity to have 2 and 3 respectively. Like, if there are, I don't know, Eagles fans who are in their early teens, early 20s, who say that is their Mount Rushmore, I'm not knocking them. For me personally, my Mount Rushmore has to have Brian Dawkins.
Agreed.
That is unnecessary.
It's also crazy that there are certain Eagles fans out there that never saw Brian Dawkins in an Eagles uniform.
Yes, that is what.
Which is gross to think about.
Some people remember Brian Dawkins as a Bronco, and that's just sickening.
I think that's that's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, you know what I mean. They don't remember him as a Bronco, but like remember watching him play. I should have worded that better. My brain no worky.
Brian Dawkins, remembering him as no. I'm messing with you. But yeah, like say you were born, it's 2025. I got to do some quick math here. Let's say you were born 2009, the year that Brian Dawkins joined the Broncos. So one, you missed out on his entire Eagles tenure. You missed out on his Broncos tenure because you were 3 years old by the time he retired. Yep. You're 16 now. You don't remember Brian Dawkins.
Who do you remember, though? You remember Jason Kelsey. You remember Brandon Graham. You remember Lane Johnson. You remember Fletcher Cox. You remember Nick Foles because you were 8 years old when he brought you a Super Bowl.
You lucky bastard.
Something that fans waited for 20, 30, 40 years to see, and you got it within 8 years of your life. You have 2 Super Bowls within the first 16 years of your life. That's insane.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
But it does begs the question. Now that Brandon Graham's career officially cemented, like he's probably not a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He doesn't have the statistic. He's got the championship pedigree, obviously, but he doesn't have the overall statistics at that position. And with how exclusive the NFL Hall of Fame is, I don't see Brandon Graham getting in, which is, I'm fine, because I think a lot more people are cool with him being just remembered as an Eagles legend. Like Jason Kelsey, gonna be in the NFL Hall of Fame because of the position he played, wins a championship, appeared in 2 Super Bowls, and is arguably the greatest center of this generation. So like he has that, and he plays a different position. Lane Johnson, cemented as one of the greatest right tackles of all time. But in the instance of Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, I don't necessarily think they're going to be NFL Hall of Famers, primarily because of the positions they both played, which is fine.
I could see them each getting inducted in 20, 30 years as like an oh, look at these 2 guys. We need someone to fill out the rest of it. They had phenomenal careers. Why not give them their laurels?
I think what prevents BG, and this is not to dissect his career like this, but what prevents him getting in is his sack total is 76.5, which isn't necessarily off the stat sheet popping off at you. Total tackles, he's just under 500 at 487. 22 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, 11 pass deflections, 1 defensive touchdown. It's not pop off the stat sheet numbers, but as an Eagle, that's he's 3rd all time on the Eagles sack list.
Most games ever played.
Longest tenured Eagle ever.
Dude did exactly what he wanted to do. 15 years in the NFL and then call it a day, and he went out with a Super Bowl.
Genuinely did the the career arc of what we all aspired to have when we had aspirations of playing professional sports, of being a first round pick, battling through, being doubted, getting the bust label, bouncing back when you get new coaches who believe in you, makes the most iconic play in franchise history. And goes out as a champion after having a season-ending injury that could have, prevented him from even playing in that Super Bowl. Re-tears said triceps and re-injures that injury that he had. Two-time Super Bowl champion. Surprisingly, only a one-time Pro Bowler, and it was in 2020. Second team All-Pro in 2016.
I agree with everything you had to say on that, except for the fact that he had the second most iconic play in Eagles history. You're forgetting about the Philly special, brother.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
no,
you take that over the Philly special?
The Philly special is memorable. It's unbelievable that happened in the Super Bowl. For where the Brandon Graham strip sack happened and what it meant to the context of the game, that's the most iconic play in Eagles history. That didn't seal, like, that strip sack didn't seal the game, but that was the moment where it was like, oh, we're in the driver's seat. Like, that was the first time any of us had any semblance of, we have a shot to do this. Like, we just sacked Tom Brady while he's driving down the field on us and got the turnover we so desperately needed in order to win this game. To me, that is the most iconic. The Philly special may go down as most memorable or like coolest play or something like that.
Okay, that's a better way to put it. The Philly special is the most memorable, but iconic.
Iconic, like, I heard Spike Eskin talking about this on WIP the day that Brandon Graham retired. And I was like, I want to just take in as much Brandon Graham content as possible. And Spike said, like, there are very few moments in Philly sports history that are as iconic as that strip sack. There are people who have photos of that in their basements, in their living rooms. They have tattoos of it. They have shirts of it. Very much like the Philly special, but like, that play is entrenched in your brain. And I think the thing from the Philly special, while the Foles like catch in the end zone is like the moment, I think a lot more people remember Doug and Nick on the sideline prior to the play even happening, where like Brandon Graham getting the strip sack is the play, so much so that it's iconic enough that we forget that, I don't forget, that Brandon Graham wasn't the one that recovered the fumble. It was Derek Barnett.
So, okay. I'm going to run down. I'm going to exclude the Eagles from this because we've gone over why Brandon Graham has the most iconic play in Eagles history. But let me run through what I think are the most iconic plays for the three other major teams in Philadelphia. So, for the Sixers, it is undeniably the Allen Iverson step over.
I would say yes, but there's also another one that you can make the argument for. It's Dr. J rocking the cradle.
Okay, yes, but I'm thinking about how the Allen Iverson step over is used.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree with you, but I think the argument is there to be had.
The argument is absolutely there because Dr. J brought us a title, but like, Allen Iverson changed the culture. That's why I say
100%. I 100% agree with you.
For the Flyers is a tough one. I'm going to have to give it to the shift Claude Giroux had against the Penguins, where he dicked Sidney Crosby. Because I can't really think of anything from the Broad Street Bullies. That was just a bunch of rough. No, it was just the entire game against the Soviets.
Yeah, there's that. Like, the thing that I picture the most, like the iconic photo of the Flyers, because
Bobby Clark with the toothless. I'm thinking like play-wise, though, not just like iconic image.
Play-wise, it's not even like a play. It's so hard with hockey, too, because it's not really like drawn up plays or like moments like that. But like, my moment with the Flyers is the Game 7 against the Bruins.
That too.
Came back from 3-0, down 3-0.
Mike Richards shift against the Canadians. There's a whole bunch with the Flyers. And for the Phillies, there's just something about Stairs rips one into the night.
I'm gonna fight you on that one.
It's up there for me. It's the one I'm thinking of right now. I know there are so many more, but like the one that really stuck out to me.
It's Lidge dropping to his knees.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. And Harry Callis on the call. The Philadelphia Phillies are your 2008 World Champions.
It's Lidge dropping to his knees. It's Tug McGraw in the air.
Yep.
And I think the other one is probably.
I mean, Bryce Harper's Grand Slam has to be up there, even though it's a regular season game. Just
I don't even think it's that. I think it's the swing of his life, Bedlam at the Bank, when he's going across his chest.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and Rhys Hoskins against the Braves.
Yeah, Hoskins bat spike. In recent memory, at least.
Oh,
Harper doing the stare down as well.
Harper doing the stare down. But if we're talking about recent memory, how about Bryson Stott's Grand Slam with the whole stadium singing his?
I was there.
Song. Yeah,
I was at that game. I was at that. The fact that I was at my playoff games that year were the Stott Grand Slam and the Harper stare down game. And then my game against the Diamondbacks was against Merrill Kelly after he said that the loudest environment he ever pitched in was the World Baseball Classic. So he wasn't worried about pitching in Philadelphia. And then we shelled them 10-2 to go up 2-0. All I ever say, I left Citizens Bank Park with a lead.
Yep. That was the last game of the series. The Rangers won a World Series against the Air. I don't know what happened. I guess the Phillies just were like, you know what, they can have it. They never got one.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many moments, and like the Brandon Graham strip sack lives in my head rent free all the time. And whenever I see that video or that moment, I have to watch the video. I still get choked up watching it and hearing Merrill and Mike on the call. And I mean, it begs the question, like, who is, not that we're doing Mount Rushmore right now, like we'll flush this out probably during the summertime. Who is your Eagles Mount Rushmore now?
Okay, I'm just gonna rip them off. No thought
and
involved.
I'll put this in context: retired players only.
Yeah, retired players only. This is me just ripping off what I can think of. This is no preparation, just going ahead. My Mount Rushmore is Brian Dawkins, Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham.
Mine is Brian Dawkins. Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham.
Ooh, wait. This might be a weird choice, but I think Asante Samuel is up there for me too, because I just fucking love that guy.
I loved him too. I'm torn between Foles and Fletch.
You see, Fletch was more consistent, but Foles did the damn thing.
I know. But the funny thing is like, Foles will be knocked off when Jalen's career is all said and done.
Exactly, because when Jalen Hurts' career is all said and done, he is the greatest Eagles quarterback of all time.
And he genuinely is right now, in my opinion.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I'm right there with you. I think Jalen Hurts gets at least one more.
Oh, easy.
At least one more.
And it's going to be funny that there's going to be a generation of Eagles fans that like put Saquon Barkley on their Mount Rushmore.
I was going to say, literally what was about to come out of my mouth, Saquon Barkley might be on the Mount Rushmore of Eagles players very sooner rather than later.
Like Devontae Smith could end up on there. A.J. Brown could end up on there.
LaShawn McCoy. How the fuck did I forget about LaShawn McCoy? I'm gonna have to do an offensive and a defensive Mount Rushmore.
I don't put Shady on mine anymore.
Oh, now for an altogether Mount Rushmore, Shady doesn't make it, but I think for an offensive Mount Rushmore, as of right now, Shady makes it. As of right now, if we're doing retired players only.
I don't think he does.
Are you putting Westbrook over Shady?
No.
Who's your offensive Mount Rushmore?
Kelsey.
We're both in agreement on that. As of right now, Nick Foles has to be on that Mount Rushmore too.
Foles, yeah. Kelsey, Foles.
For me, I got to put Deshaun Jackson on mine.
Deshaun might be on mine.
You know who's my fourth spot on the retired offensive Mount Rushmore? Number 87, big guy Brent Selleck.
I don't think Selleck makes mine. I love Selleck. I've met
As
him.
of right now, I'm just trying to get like one from as many different groups as possible, but like I love Brent Selleck. I think Shady's close. It's either Shady or Selleck.
Does Randall Cunningham make it?
Again, it's one of those cases where I never grew up watching him. And
it's so funny that like Randall was like definitely
but he was
like
the prototype.
prior to
prototype.
Like prior to my cognizant memories of him being on the Eagles, but like I like vaguely remember Randall, even though he like was on the Eagles my first 3 years of life.
I love watching.
I don't know, and I think I'm so pilled by the Eagles offensive line now that like I also like think back and like Trey Thomas and John Runyon were fucking behemoths.
You know who may wind up on the Eagles offensive Mount Rushmore when all is said and done? Jordan Mailata.
Oh, 100%. He's going to go down as an all-time like success story in sports history.
He might be an NFL Hall of Famer.
I don't know life without one of these three gentlemen protecting my quarterback's blind side. And here's one of my Jason Peters is on my retired.
Oh my God, how the fuck did I forget about Jason Peters?
Well, he just retired, so that's probably Trey Thomas. I don't know my blind side unprotected by Trey Thomas, Jason Peters, or Jordan Mailata.
That's a hell of a blind side to protection squad.
Like Trey Thomas was on the Eagles.
Bad man. You want to talk about bad motherfuckers? Jason Peters was the baddest of the bad.
Trey Thomas was on the Eagles, drafted in 1998, which is like beginning of my formative years of like memories and everything.
So my formative years of
from 98 to now is like my offensive blind side was Trey Thomas, Jason Peters, and Jordan Mailata.
I can't really remember the 2004 Super Bowl. I was still very, very young.
I envy that.
But like, I think the real moment that was the kick in the dick that really made me the Eagles fan that I am today was watching us get so close in 2009, only to blow it to the goddamn Cardinals. I remember sitting on my the stairs on our house, crying my goddamn eyes out because.
Oh yeah, dude, that team. Like the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, the team didn't really do much as a team.
But individual,
Shady and Macklin and Foles and all that, but like individual performances.
It was McNabb. Oh, no, it was McNabb.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like that era where it was those guys.
And then you had
like
Kevin
everyone talks about that being like the glory days of like that 2013 like first year of Chip Kelly, and it was like Foles, Macklin, Deshaun, Shady, and they never really did anything.
Foles had that 7 tutty game.
I was there.
You were there?
Or no, I was at the one where he had 5 or 6 against the Bears.
I was gonna say you were in Oakland for that game.
No, I was at the one where they beat the Bears like 55-21 or whatever, like 2 days before Christmas. We were beating them so bad, Michael Vick came in to throw a touchdown. So I got to see Michael Vick play football in person, which was really cool. But yeah, like I feel like Brandon Graham is a Mount Rushmore Eagle, and I know the Eagles don't do statues like that. You know, the one statue they have is donated courtesy of a beer company that is not a sponsor on the show, but I feel like BG and Jason Kelsey statue worthy.
Oh, absolutely.
Or you wait until Lane inevitably retires in hopefully like 2030. And you do a statue of the four of those guys together.
Yeah. And also
Lane, Fletch, BG, and Kelsey.
I'm gonna pull a Deadpool versus Wolverine here. Lane Johnson, you're locked in until you're 90, bud. I'm sorry. You ain't allowed to go nowhere.
Well, he did just sign through 2027, which is awesome.
Yes.
But maybe that's what they wait for is to do a core four. And like I always bagged on Yankees fans for them talking about their core four because it wasn't like organic. Like you bought Alex Rodriguez. Like, you know, it wasn't. It never felt authentic to me. It was very like
organic as hell.
This is like, and the cool part is like it was back to back drafts that those guys were picked. And I also didn't realize this because the internet wasn't as prevalent to like dish out that type of information. Plus, in 2010, I was a sophomore in high school trying to just get by and not fail physics. I didn't realize I was like this week years old when I realized that Howie Roseman's first draft pick as GM of the Philadelphia Eagles was Brandon Graham.
No shot. That's a hell of a first draft pick.
Which explains so much as to why they're so close and why 100% Brandon Graham's going to go like the Connor Barwin route. It's already like on the record. He says he wants to work under Howie Roseman and like.
God, I wish Connor Barwin got a ring too.
He got one this year. He's part of the team.
Well, no, I'm saying as a player.
Oh yeah, he's an all-time like late in life Eagle.
Yeah, like it's like how I wish Dawkins got one as a player. I'm happy he has one in the front office, but like I wish he had got one on the active squad.
Yeah. Barwin gets one as an executive this year.
Good. Connor deserves that. He's a local legend. The guy just does so much good for the Philly area, and he's such a good dude.
Which is so funny that he and BG are from Michigan.
Yeah,
they're both going to end up working under Howie.
I don't have enough good words to say about Barwin. I don't have enough good words to say about BG. I don't have enough good words to say about Fletch, Kelsey, Lane Johnson. Literally, words do not describe how much I love this team and these players because they are all great dudes who care about this city, who care about this community, and they would all put their body on the line for the mental well-being of the city of Philadelphia, which, as I'm sure they all know, 99% of Philadelphians and South Jerseyans' mental health relies on how well the Philadelphia Eagles are doing.
And the thing is like we're gonna wind up hearing the report that he's the new special assistant to the general manager. He's gonna be the new Dwight Schrute to Howie Roseman, just like Connor Barwin was.
I need BG to dress up in like a short sleeve dress shirt and like those big ass glasses and a calculator watch. Start talking about Beats, Bears, and Battlestar Galactica.
And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool to see that new wrinkle to Brandon Graham's career, if that is the career path that he goes down. And I mean, like, for me personally, like, Brandon Graham, like I said, he epitomizes what it means to be a Philadelphia athlete. He epitomizes what it means to embrace a city, even when they don't fully embrace you. And like that dude was part of me like becoming a man, which is crazy to say that like a football player like had that kind of connection to you as a person that is somebody who you've never met personally.
But he genuinely did.
Brandon Graham was drafted when I was a sophomore in high school, which was genuinely one of the hardest years of like my schooling ever. And then to watch him evolve his career and kind of become a product of his environment and like almost be a chameleon to whoever was the coach, whoever was the coordinator, get over the hump and be a Super Bowl champion in 2017, and then evolve into the leader and like just pure, full of passion, shit talking, like unbelievable human that he has become and has always been, and it's just shined here. Like, you gain a connection to somebody. Like, I feel like I've known Brandon Graham for 15 years because he's been a staple of this organization for that long. Like Les Bowen tweeted, Brandon Graham was the final player who ever went to training camp at Lehigh. Like, that's how long Brandon Graham has been here.
Oh my God.
Like, here's another fun stat. Like, the day Brandon Graham was drafted, this comes from my good pal Ray Dunn, who works at 97.5. This was the Phillies starting lineup on the day that Brandon Graham was drafted by the Eagles.
Okay.
Shane Victorino, Greg Dobbs, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, Raul Ibanez, Juan Castro, Carlos Ruiz, and Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer was 47 at the time, which is 11 years older than current day Brandon Graham.
Oh, Jamie Moyer. Him and his 75-mile-per-hour fastballs.
And here's another one to make us feel old. On the day that Brandon Graham was drafted by the Eagles, this is also from Ray Dunn, the Flyers closed out the New Jersey Devils in the first round of the 2010 NHL playoffs.
Oh, my God.
In that game, Brian Boucher had the shutout, who's now part of the broadcast team. And
Philly Lano got any goals? Hartsey.
2 goals from Claude Giroux.
Mike.
And
did you get any?
The first goal of the game was scored by your general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers, Danny Briere.
And he did his classic fist pump celebrate. I loved his celebration. You got that. He dropped down on one knee, get that fist pump.
And here's
every goal.
The Brandon Graham correlation to the basketball team.
Yes.
Brandon Graham was drafted by the Eagles 8 days after Eddie Jordan coached his final game for the 76ers. That final game was a 125-111 loss to the Magic. Mo Spates led all scorers with 23.
Was Dwight Howard still on the Magic at that point?
He might have been. And the leading scorer for the 21 points for the Magic that night is current Delaware Blue coach GM Jameer Nelson.
Good Lord.
Shout out to Ray Dunn.
Shout out. That's some great investigative journalism right there.
Insane stuff. But I think this statement from Jeffrey Lurie says it all about Brandon Graham, that the Eagles posted on social media. Without question, Brandon Graham is the embodiment of everything you would want in a Philadelphia Eagle. He's a special player and a special person. It's only fitting that he has played in more games than anyone else in the history of our franchise. Over the course of his 15-year career, he produced so many memorable moments both on and off the field. His 76.5 sacks are the third highest total ever by an Eagle, and of course, he will forever be remembered for his game-changing play in Super Bowl 52. But it was the way he played the game and the way he carried himself that earned him the love and respect of his coaches, teammates, and fans. The positive energy he brought every day was infectious, whether it was at practice, a game, or just walking around the building. Anyone who has had the pleasure of interacting with him would tell you that it's impossible to have a bad day after being in his presence. Make no mistake, he was also a tough, physical, and talented player who has played an integral role in the success we've had over the years. In addition to being one of our all-time greats on the field, Brandon has always represented the organization and the city of Philadelphia with exemplary leadership, integrity, and class. Along with his trademark smile and warm demeanor, he treats himself with respect and has been incredibly giving of himself to others, which is among the many reasons why he was a 2-time Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award nominee. Of all the things that make him special, though, it is Brandon's character and gracious nature that have always stood out to me the most. We cannot be prouder of the player, person, and family man that Brandon has become. Although Brandon is officially retiring as a player, we know that his impact on our team will continue to be felt for many years to come, whether it is through the culture he helped build or his future endeavors. On behalf of the Philadelphia Eagles, we congratulate Brandon on an incredible career and wish him and his family all the best in retirement. Jeffrey Lurie, Philadelphia Eagles chairman and CEO.
Perfect statement. I mean, from the best owner in sports to the best player, one of the best players in his franchise, you knew he was going to go all out for that, and he really did.
Yeah. So here's to you, Brandon Graham. You got a lot of free time on your hands now. We've been wanting to have you on this podcast since we started the damn thing. You're a core reason this company exists due to that game-changing play in Super Bowl 52. Brandon Graham, congratulations on one hell of a career in the NFL. 15 years with the Philadelphia Eagles, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Now let's add to the resume. Let's make you a guest on the number 9 Philadelphia podcast on the market. This is the open invite formally to now the somewhat open schedule of Brandon Graham. Let's have you on the show, brother. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
So yes, congratulations to Brandon Graham on one hell of a career. One quick free agency note here as well. The Eagles have added another Georgia Bulldog to the fray on defense, Harrison. Azeez Ojulari is now a Philadelphia Eagle, signs a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Birds, coming over from the Giants, the second player this offseason to do so, joining Adoree Jackson. I also love that they had Azeez and Adoree sign their contracts together, and they posted them on social together with the photos of them in the background in Giants uniforms, welcoming them to the team. Azeez Ojulari is a fucking dog. And the fact that he left the Giants after his rookie contract tells you all you need to know about, one, the importance of the city of Philadelphia to him and his family. His parents allegedly met in Philadelphia, according to, I think, Jeff McClain. And his sister was born here. And now he gets to play with 6 of his teammates from the University of Georgia. The fact that we have 7 players from one collegiate defense on this team now is clinically insane. Howie Roseman is a Florida alumni. He's going to get an honorary degree from the University of Georgia for reassembling the Georgia Bulldogs defense.
And you know what? They'll be happy to give it to him.
I'm excited about this. Like I was pumped about Josh Uche coming from the Chiefs, formerly with the Patriots, because I thought it was a sneaky under the radar, like good type of move. Azeez Ojulari is a fucking dog at the linebacker position. You're telling me we're going to have him, Nakobe Dean when he's healthy, and Zach Bond playing linebacker for this team?
Whew. It's going to be nice.
Like, hot damn.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
It's going to be great.
I mean, this dude is a menace on the defense. He had 6 sacks last year for the Giants. In his career, he has 22 sacks in his first 4 seasons, kind of playing that outside linebacker, defensive end kind of hybrid role. To me, this is your 1 year, let's see how the cap kind of works out, and you hopefully re-sign. This is your Josh Sweat replacement for next year at the very least.
And you already know that the chemistry is there. So, like, we're going to be cooking. We're going to be cooking.
And, like, he got injured a little bit last year. He's only played in 11 games the last 2 seasons each. You know, he's played in 22 games the last 2 years. I am just very genuinely, like so excited for him to be on this team because I think he is going to be a menace on this defense, and in a Vic Fangio system where he's going to be used properly. You have him on the defensive line with Josh Uche, with Moro Jomo, with Jalen Carter, with Jordan Davis. I'm like licking my lips just with how excited I am about how this defense is going to continue being the number one defense in the NFL, even with a number of replacements.
Yep. It's going to be great.
So I'm pumped that Azeez is here. Open invite to come on the podcast, obviously.
Yep.
Any new Philadelphia Eagles. And Zach Bond put pen to paper today as well. The bald eagle has landed in his nest. Very excited that Bond is back, obviously. Adoree Jackson also signed his contract today. I don't know if, like, I genuinely feel like Zach Bond at the linebacker position is the first linebacker the Eagles have had that came from outside the organization that felt like they should have been in an Eagles uniform their entire career since Takeo Spikes.
Yeah. He really fits the mold. He should have been here since day one. It only took Howie Roseman putting him at the right position with Vic Fangio for him to be unlocked.
I can't believe I was looking at this the other day because, Harrison, you'll love this. I found on eBay for $50 a black Reebok tag still on it, Takeo Spikes Eagles jersey.
Ooh.
So I can't wait to break that bad boy out because that is a jersey that not too many people have.
Yeah,
I love Takeo Spikes as a player. Like, ultimate fucking, like, he is a football player. His neck is fucking massive. He's built like a brick shit house. Takeo Spikes should have been on the Eagles longer than just 2007.
Yeah.
That is one of my biggest, like, long-standing NFL takes, is like, it is a travesty that the Eagles did not allow Takeo Spikes to be on this team longer.
Yep. It's a shame, but Zach Bond is Spikes 2.0.
I don't even remember why we got rid of Takeo Spikes. Because
probably some like cap reason or something like that.
Probably. What did we end up doing?
Again, I was 7 years old. I can't really remember.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, we just released him, I guess, or he was only on a 1-year deal because we traded for him. I remember trading for him from the Buffalo Bills because that was like the first time we ever did business with the Bills. And it was like, holy shit, we have Takeo Spikes. Like, I always got that guy on my franchise mode in Madden because he was that good. But man, yeah, I can't wait to wear the Takeo Spikes jersey. That's going to be absolute heat. But our free agency shoot around there brought to you by our friends over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Pittsburgh areas. You can also get Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder. Got to be 21 or older to do so. And of course, guys, please drink responsibly. Harrison, not much Phil's news, so we're going to kind of bypass them a little bit. Everyone's just yelling at the clouds about a fucking spring training start by Taijuan Walker. Sorry. The real Phil's news is Ranger Suarez. We'll have more news on it Monday's episode because in the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll have severity of Ranger Suarez's back injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Rob Thompson already said that it's not as serious as last year's back injury. So hopefully it doesn't like prevent Ranger from starting the season. But again, like we've said, you have Taijuan Walker, you have Joe Ross, you have Tyler Phillips, you have guys who can start games for you if Ranger were to miss time. But hopefully he doesn't have to miss time, but we'll have more info on that in the coming days. Let's just dive right into the madness, Harrison. It is brought to you by our awesome friends at FOCO. And we love FOCO. We have for years now, and they are powering our entire March Madness coverage. Every live stream that you see that we are watching along with March Madness for will be powered by FOCO. Our bracket challenge, which is linked in the description, that you should join so we get it to be the biggest bracket challenge ever in our company's history, is powered by FOCO. Our winner of our bracket challenge is getting hooked up by FOCO with a sweet-ass prize pack. all of our content during March Madness. Brought to you by FOCO, the leaders in forever collectibles. Use our link in the description. And now through March Madness, so April 8th will be the last day that it's active for now. Code Underground10 at checkout. When you use our link in the description to shop with FOCO, you'll get 10% off your entire order. Harrison, they have their version of Legos called Brixels.
Yeah.
And they have one of Lincoln Financial Field that I have in my cart right now. They have a big one and a little one. I'm probably going to get the little one based off of tabletop size for myself. But the big one is also pretty sweet and might have to get both and do like a building live stream. Because having a model of Lincoln Financial Field would be amazing.
Yes.
So use our code Underground10 when you use our link in the description to shop everything at FOCO. Join our bracket challenge to compete against your favorite Underground personalities for a chance to win an awesome prize pack from FOCO. Tune into our live streams all tournament long. And Underground Madness 2025 is proudly presented by our friends over at FOCO. Harrison, I can't believe we're sitting here. It's Thursday morning, technically, as we record this segment.
Yeah.
In just a short 11 hours, the ball will be tipped, and we will be underway for March.
Yes, sir. I'm so ready, man. It's going to be great.
I am so stoked. This is genuinely, we were talking a little Mount. This is Mount Rushmore sports calendar day of my year. Like, I am all in on March Madness being on there. I'm all in on NFL kickoff, like first weekend. That is like peak. I am all in on Super Bowl, obviously. And I'm a huge World Series guy.
Yeah.
But like, this is just like, I love March Madness so much. And I'm not even like huge, like, I'm a Villanova basketball fan. I've been a Villanova basketball fan since 2007.
Yep.
But even with Villanova not being in the tournament the past couple of years, like, I can sit down and just watch. I'll be locked in for Louisville Creighton tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. Like, I have no skin in that game, but I will be glued to my television watching it and living and dying with every shot attempt. Like, my life depends on it. And that's March Madness, baby.
That's March Madness. It's going to be great.
Like, I am so excited the next 4 days to just like merge with my couch and become one with the cushions from watching so much fucking basketball. Do
a little bit of responsible betting. Responsibly.
100%. 100%. I don't remember a tournament though. You know, we did our bracket reaction stream for both the men and women on Sunday. Recorded the episode on Monday. Didn't really dive too much into the bracket. I don't remember a year where like it feels like the chalk picks are going to win as much as they are than this year.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a year of many upsets, which will probably make me look like an absolute buffoon as I sit here Sunday night to record the next episode of the pod.
Yeah.
And there's upsets galore after 2 rounds. But I just don't see all that many upsets happening in these first couple of rounds.
I think there's going to be 1 or 2 like marquee ones, but that's going to be it.
And they're not like you said, like marquee ones. Like, they feel like the 7-10 upsets.
Yeah, those don't really feel like they're gonna happen this year. I feel like it's gonna be like
those are the ones that I feel like will happen. Is like 7
really?
versus 10. Like, they feel more even than they have in years past, where like I don't really see a 14 seed pulling an upset over these 3 seeds. I don't really see a 12 seed.
Except for McNeese. You got to love McNeese.
I don't right now. I've had Clemson all the way since even for a while, like from the moment that was the matchup, like, and especially now that McNeese's coach, it was announced that even before the tournament, he was planning to take was it the
NC State.
Wolfpack NC
NC
State
State.
job. Like that to me is like you're a school who's never won a tournament game, and to me, like your storyline of your team, while they've played really well, your team manager is the spotlight.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Aura King,
But
like that doesn't bode well for me.
March Madness, a lot of stuff goes off of vibes. Like vibes is the ultimate like litmus test in March Madness. If your team is gelling well, you can beat anybody. I am going to throw this out there right now. Purdue loses in either the first or second round. Yes, I'm being a hater. Fuck that school. Fuck those dumb engineers.
Who do they play in the first round?
Norfolk.
And then who do they play?
Either McNeese or Clemson.
Oh yeah, I have Clemson beating them.
Yeah, fuck Purdue.
I just like my biggest upset going into the Sweet 16 in my official bracket is that like I have Drake making it to the second weekend.
Drake.
I have Drake making it, and then outside of that, like I have Clemson making it to the second weekend. I have Oregon making it to the second weekend. I have Ole Miss and Michigan. Everything else is like 1, 2, 3s, and 4s. And I hate that I have my Elite 8 as all 1s and 2s, and it's making me like second guess everything. But every time I've gone through my bracket, it's wound up that way, and I just don't have reason to pick against the 1s and 2s. And I'm probably going to look really stupid if I don't make any changes and have my bracket what it is now, but it does feel like a very chalk type of year.
Yes.
Who do you have winning?
Ugh.
Mind you, this is all subject to change, everyone listening. If Harrison decides to change things before 12:15 p.m. Eastern time, before the first tip-off happens, he is open to do so.
I'm making the change right now. I was tired when making my bracket. Give me Duke.
That's what I have too, unfortunately.
And it's going to be annoying as hell. I want to use that meme from White Lotus, but like, it's going to be Duke.
I mean, we can use that when it's like, God damn it, Duke just won a championship.
Yeah.
It is very... It just feels like Duke is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
And the fact that they showed out without Cooper Flagg and still dominated their opponents without him after he got injured was like, damn, they're hooping.
Yeah. It's the Blue Devils. It would be Indiana if Indiana was there, but we got fucked out of a spot.
I'm just so annoyed that, like, I know my bracket's already cooked and it hasn't even started yet.
Oh, every year. It doesn't matter.
Like, we're going to be sitting here next week talking about how, like, Lipscomb has made it to the second weekend.
Yeah. Good Lord. Norfolk has gone on the run of their life.
Wofford advances and everything.
Wofford advances. UC San Diego pulls off the upset of all upsets.
You want to talk about somebody pulling the Duke meme? DJ will just Photoshop the Michigan shirt over that guy.
By God, Robert Morris is taking out Alabama.
Also, there's a player, I forget what team he's... Let me find what team he's on. It's very funny that...
quick addendum, I was wrong. Purdue plays High Point.
Oh, okay.
It was... yeah. You know? Yeah.
There's a player on Mount St. Mary's who his first and last name, shout out to Max from Part of My Take, he brought this up. His first and last name are 2 teams that are in the tournament.
What is
Plays
it?
for Mount St. Mary's. His name is Xavier Lipscomb.
Brother. Brother. No.
Which, speaking of which, I wonder what those final scores were because we had our other 2 playing games tonight.
Who were playing?
It was Xavier in Texas and Mount St. Mary's in American. Mount St. Mary's advances, so they are the 16 seed, and Xavier beats Texas 86-80.
Suck it, Texas.
To
You couldn't
which,
get the job done and beat Ohio State in football, so now you don't even get to make March Madness.
shout out to the OG, my dad. He was doing his bracket today, and I was just pushing the buttons for him as I let him know the matchups. He said Xavier was winning. He didn't even say Xavier/Texas. He said Xavier was winning.
Damn.
So he's got his fingy on the pulse there. He's got Xavier making a little bit of a run too in his bracket. So,
Nice.
what is your favorite thing about March Madness?
This is going to sound real basic, but I love a Cinderella story. There's always at least one Cinderella.
I think it's the feeling of third. Like it feels like a kid on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like that feeling of knowing that the tournament's coming, and it's just like anybody can get behind watching March Madness. You don't even have to be a basketball fan, but you will sit down and tune in because it's March Madness.
Yep.
And it's just like that.
It's special.
And it's like one of those things too, like holding a bracket in your hand. That feeling like is the most incredible sports non-sporting event feeling that you can have. And I get giddy every year when the tournament rolls around, and I'm just like so excited. Like the fact that we get Arkansas and Kansas in a first round matchup, and it's Bill Self against Calipari for an opportunity to play against Rick Pitino. Like that's what our childhood is made of. Like that is pure unadulterated college basketball, like excellence. And if we get Calipari versus Pitino in the second round, oh my God, the scenes.
Yeah.
The scenes that will be had.
That would be fucking insane.
Like Pitino would have to whip out the white suit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I also just want St. John's to make a run because their marching band plays sea shanty. Like I need the sea shanty at the Final Four. That would be electric.
Yeah. So good.
It's
necessary.
But I'm just excited, man. Like I love this time of year, and I will be taking in every ounce of March Madness. And hey, do we have the deal of a lifetime for people, Harrison? Do we have the deal of a lifetime? Our friends at Paramount Plus are making sure that if you're a student and you're listening to this podcast, you're watching this podcast, you're not missing out on any of the tournament action. Right now, through April 9th, use our link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus. And if you are a student, when you use our link, you get 50% off any Paramount Plus package. Any Paramount Plus package for 50% off when you use our link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus. Every single second of March Madness action will be on Paramount Plus. You don't want to miss it. Sign up for Paramount Plus, and if you're a student, get 50% off now through April 9th when you use our link to sign up. Get started today. Shout out to Paramount Plus for hooking up all the students out there to make sure they don't miss out on any of the March Madness action. That is all we've got for you guys. Make sure you're following us on the socials. Keep up to date with the bracket challenge. It is linked in the description. Sign up. It's free to join. Send it to your friends. Send it to your family. Send it to, we were recording Getting the Whole, Harrison. Stevie Mac accidentally sent the bracket to his ex-girlfriend.
Oof.
Mind you, he's now a married man. Send it to whoever you want. It could be your ex-girlfriend. It could be your Uber driver. Get everyone signed up. Join the bracket challenge in the description. Shout out to FOCO. Follow us on the socials. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. We're currently at 1,044 subscribers. Let's get to 1,050. Let's get to 1,100. Let's make it happen. And very fun stuff once the tournament's over, Harrison. That's when I start Game of Thrones.
Finally. It's about that
That's
time.
when I start season 1. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. And this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 726 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, the number 9 ranked Philadelphia podcast on the market. Everybody, enjoy March Madness. Join our bracket challenge. Enjoy March Madness. We're all mad here. We're going to be tearing up brackets before we know it. It's going to be pure, unadulterated anger. But just remember, most of these players are just kids. Some of them adults now because they've been in college so long. But most of them, just kids. Make your free throws. We will see you on Monday with myself, wrapping up the first 2 rounds of the tournament, getting you geared up for another great week. And then Harrison and I will be right back here next week, breaking down more tournament action, gearing up, probably have some interviews, the whole 9 yards. But until then, enjoy the tournament, guys. Have a fun weekend. Gamble responsibly. Indulge responsibly. And we're getting the heck up out of here. We're signing off, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.